But have you seen anything different about Arsenal in the last couple of years? I know you've been a fan of Arteta and you believed he was going to get it right. What do you make of them this season? Do you think that they are built different now?
Yeah, well, I said about Arteta a long time ago on the Big Six. There's people now, I think I've got this hatred of Arsenal. I haven't got the hatred of Arsenal. I've told you before. Them Arsenal fans turned on me. The second Arsenal started to look like a good team, they turned on me. Oh, you're finished. We're coming for you. We're doing this. You know the Arsenal way. But let me just tell you this on here, yeah? There's no rivalry between Manchester City and Arsenal. Arsenal have never done anything to hurt Manchester City in anything. They've never took a trophy off us. They've never beat us in a final. They've never done anything where I think, oh, I hate Arsenal. I wish we beat them. No Manchester City fan gives a fuck about Arsenal until Arsenal start becoming a problem. The last 2 years, Arsenal have ran away with themselves. They've started singing and dancing and moonwalking around the Emirates and telling us what they're going to do and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And at the end of the day, in May, they ended up with nothing. Manchester City took the title. We're on for 5 titles in a row, yeah? You're on for, we haven't been beat off Manchester City in 5 games. What do you win for that? That's what I'm getting. Apparently, the pendulum has swung. Apparently, there's a change in the shift of power because apparently we haven't managed to beat you in 4 games. But people are missing the point. We've just won 4 league titles in a row. We just won the treble, the World Club Cup, the Super Cup. And for the last 10 games before them 4, the score was 38-8 to Manchester City. So it just stinks of people trying to create a rivalry. And as far as the game goes, the game was heated. The game looked like it was nasty. But that doesn't mean a rivalry because City played Everton last season and Erling Haaland and Ben Godfrey were fighting on the pitch. People were spitting at each other. They were grabbing each other by the throat. That doesn't mean anyone's rattled. That's just a game of football that gets heated. You go down to a Sunday league game of football on Sunday with 2 teams that don't know each other, they'll be punching holes out of each other because football's a passionate game. But Manchester City don't class Arsenal as rivals. How can you? They've not done anything to be rivals. You finished second 2 years on the trot. They're not in the Champions League beating us. We're Liverpool. They beat us in the Champions League. They knocked us out of cups. They won the league against us. Do you know what I mean? That was rivalry because we were at it with each other. Is the Arsenal City rivalry going to get there? Probably. 2 years on the bounce, you've been good, real good. And you've got a great side. And I've said it on many occasions. I do feel like the Arsenal team is a team that can win the league. No doubt about it. Look at the numbers they've got and look at the way they've performed. That's a title-winning team. It's just unfortunate that Man City are this machine that come at the end and stole it. You know what I mean? A lot of people agree Arsenal played better football than Man City last year. They probably played better football the year before. But you know what it's like, Dan. You've got to keep going to the end of the season. And Man City, they go to the end of the season, they keep on going. And once they got that bit between the teeth, they go and win the league. But all this nonsense over a game of football at the Etihad, the dark arts and all that, carry on with that. Let everyone think that. If they want to come and have a rivalry with Man City, no problem. No problem at all. But for me, it ain't a rivalry. And I don't think they like that. I feel like on the Big Six show, the Arsenal fans in the comments are spewing, Big Steve's rattled. Big Steve couldn't be more unless rattled by a team than anyone. And that's me being totally honest. I like to see these Arsenal fans losing the plot early doors. I like them telling me we're going to win the league in September because they seem to forget they've done this for the last 2 seasons and look how it ends. So I'd be a little bit more, let's be a bit careful. Let's not fucking go a bit giddy because we've had our arse handed to us the last 2 times. Arsenal can go and beat Man City 5-0 at the Emirates. Means now at the minute. Means nothing because we know that Arsenal crumble against the other teams in the running. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. There's no rivalry for me. We'll see at the end of the season. But I think Arsenal this season have got a great side. I feel like they've got a great chance. The Rodri injury would have given them a boost. But I'm not blaming that. Listen, Man City got to deal with it. If Arsenal win the league, it's not because Rodri's injured. People will say that. It ain't because of that. It's because Arsenal are a better side. So we'll have to see how it goes.
We will, man. Look, apologies to some of the rattled people in the chat. They're coming for me as well as you, like this guy here. This is lies of the City press. Arsenal didn't get interest-free loans, and cause Potts, you're clueless. You just sit there smiling. This is how rattled some of the people get. I'm just here to talk about football, man. I don't care
Glorious, isn't
about
it?
what's happening, man.
Glorious.
It's absolutely crazy. But there we go. So yeah, I'll do my best to keep an eye on the chat, mate. But
Don't
listen,
worry about that. Don't worry about it.
but listen, man. The dark arts of Arsenal. Let me tell you why I think fans get a bit frustrated
I'm
and
just
where
going
I
to
actually do
mention
it.
something as well, yeah.
Yeah, go on,
People
bro.
say to me, you should be humble. Why the fuck should I be humble? Why the fuck should I be humble? Are you mad? I'm a football team that you've ripped apart for years. Little city, no history, got no fans, all this bullshit. So we are winning our 4th and 5th Premier League title in a row. We've won the treble. Yeah, we've won the Champions League, the Super Cup, the World Cup. And you want me to come on any channel and be humble? You're taking the piss, mate, because you've managed to not get beat off City in 4 games, and the Arsenal fans are claiming that as a victory. So who needs to be humble? Because if I came on here and Arsenal and I'd not beat Arsenal for 4 games, and you'd won 4 in a row, and I was trying to big that up, you'd be laughing your fucking ass off at me. They'd be laughing their ass off, saying, "Look at this little City fan trying to big up winning 4 league games when we've just won 4 in the trot. Look at this City fan who can't chat to us. We've won the treble. We've won the European Cup." But when it's on the other foot, apparently, because I'm a City fan, I've got to sit there and fucking be humble. I don't think so. Don't fucking think so.
Listen, man, you get them in every fan base, and trust me, we do have a section of them that are very, very vocal. But look, man, I wanted to get your opinions on this because this is where I feel like some of the Arsenal fans do sit there and go, "We can't win." It wasn't long ago that Arsenal was seen as someone with a soft underbelly that played one style of football, that attack, concede, and wonder why they don't win anything. Then what Mikel Arteta does is he strengthens things up defensively, finds a different style of play in certain games, which isn't Tony Pulis ball all the time, by the way, but perhaps if you want to call it that in certain games, you can do. And we're getting the results coming across a real tough period unscathed. No longer have a soft underbelly, towering over the opposition in the tunnel. Can't get bullied. In fact, bully the other teams in certain games. And now that's still wrong. So I think that's where Arsenal fans are sitting there, some of the sensible ones anyway, thinking, hang on a minute. So we were getting bullied. Now we're not. We had a small team that was tick-a-tacker. Now it's a big physical team. We have one style of play. Now we're showing other ways that we can Diego Simeone it if we need to. And it still ain't right. Now, don't get me wrong, Steve. If we don't win us something, I'll be there going, we're trying everything, still not getting across the line. But we're having to go and we're trying stuff differently, right? So that's where I don't get the hatred where it comes from rival fans. And it ain't just City fans, by the way. Chelsea, Spurs, obviously, Liverpool, all of them going, ain't impressed by Arsenal. But we've gone to Villa away, City away, Spurs away, Atlanta away in a period of time of about 2 weeks. And we ain't lost the games. So we've got results out of there. So I don't know, man. That's where I think we deserve a little bit more credit.
I'm impressed with Arsenal. I think Arsenal are a great side. I think they're a good team. I think they've got a good goalkeeper, back 4. I just feel like they're a little bit toothless sometimes up front. And I feel like when the pressure builds towards the end of that season, I feel like that's when Arsenal, it's all right coming to the Etihad and getting a draw in September, August. You know, no one's asked. You've got to go there at the end of it and put a statement out, or you've got to go and flatten City at the Emirates in February and put a statement out. And that's when it can damage Manchester City players and confidence as well. And that's when it does its job. But I can see Arsenal winning the league. I can see them doing it. Happened with Liverpool. Liverpool got to unbelievable amount of points and never won now. And then they got there in the end. And I feel like you're on the right track. Everything's there. You know what I mean? You've just got to get it over the line. I just feel like the hatred will come because you're doing well. The hatred comes because you've got a good team. That's why people don't like it and they can say what they want. But you just got to focus on what you're doing. And at the end of the day, Mikel knows what he's doing. He's got a great squad and a backbone of the squad. You've got this winning mentality coming through the team now. People can't deny that. Look at the games that you're winning. You know, it's very rare Arsenal get beat. And from looking back from where you was 4 or 5 years ago to where you are now, it's massive improvement of the football club. And Arsenal are only going one way, and it's that way, up. It's not plateauing. They're going up every season, but it takes time. And you've got to give credit to the Arsenal and the board, especially the fans, for finally getting time. You know yourself, there was times under Mikel in the early days, he could have lost his job, but the board stuck with him. You know, some of the situations he was thrown in with Aubameyang and all that, people going, oh, what's he doing, getting rid of him? And everyone was going a bit mad. But it was all part of his little plan. And now everyone in the club trusts him. The dressing room's all behind him. The fans are behind him. And he's managed to switch that in 3 or 4 years by sticking to his guns and not giving into peer pressure. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you're gonna disagree with some of the things he does. He's a Pep Guardiola man. Pep does absolutely fucking bonkers things week in and week out. Yeah. But it comes to the point where you'll be winning stuff and you'll just think, you know what, it's Mikel. You've got to take it on the chin. Sometimes he's going to do something mad. Sometimes he's going to do something fantastic. But if I'm an Arsenal fan now, I'm just fucking so happy where you are. You're in the mix and you're competing. You know, Tottenham a few years ago on the Big Six, they just got Conte as manager. Toby was doing backflips. And Turkish was sat in the top fucking left-hand corner, depressed as fuck. You flip that now. Toby's absolutely depressed as fuck. And Turkish has sort of found his mouth again. So that shows you everything you need to know. They're going in the right